Hello, Leo. Welcome to your March Soul session for the 1st to the 15th of March. I am Marlo, if you're new. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. So let's go ahead and jump into you guys' okay cards and see what's going on with you all from the 1st through the 15th of March. So the first card that we have popping out, Leo, I need to take my AirPod out because that is going to be distracting. We have the Ace of the Cuppies in the reverse. So coming out of February and into March, there's a bit of an emotional disappointment here. It's more or less you guys had intentions of something, and I'm starting to think about what it is that we kind of talked about in February. I know we were talking a lot about finance, but I'm not sure if this has anything to do with that, but that just crossed my mind, so I'm gonna say it. But anyway, it's more or less you guys having intended to do something or having plans for something that you guys wanted to pan out a specific way, and I'm seeing that it did not exactly pan out the way that you hoped. So it's coming into March from February with a tad bit of disappointment or a little bit of a letdown. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as saying like depressed or anything, but I feel you guys are kind of, tongue-in-cheek disappointed about it nonetheless. Now, the next card that you guys have is interesting. The Hermit in the reverse. That is a forewarning. I think that is ramen juice on that card. That's a forewarning because for me, the Hermit in the reverse is always, it's Virgo energy, by the way, but it's always speaking to a repeating of past mistakes. So, of course, it's like, with the Hermit, you're going with an intention, right? So it's like you're trying to like soul search, find your inner light to get back on track. You know what I'm saying? Or, initiating a spiritual journey. Whenever it's reversed to me, I see that more or less as like a self-induced spiritual journey, which really would not be necessarily spiritual because it's like, spiritual journeys are like callings and things. So it's more or less like a hiding away, right? So I feel with this disappointment for you guys that happened somewhere between the last week of February coming into the first week of March, I feel that was kind of like a trigger for you all. And whatever this is, it's causing you to go within, to like going within and not going within in the sense like I'm saying, like going within, trying to, find your inner light or whatever. It's kind of like hiding away, if that's making sense. And I see it as like hiding away, like not just literally, but in the sense of kind of like shutting down and shutting out other opinions that could be coming in, or not allowing other people to speak into your life and kind of hiding away, because I feel like some level of either shame or guilt or something associated with this, like shame, guilt, worry, like something in that ballpark, because it feels kind of like the rug got pulled from under you in a sense. So if I were to put this all together, what we're talking about in the first 7 days of March, it's more or less you guys had high hopes for something, and I can see how that would be. If you guys resonated with like January, February, I mean, all the way back into November, honestly, for the soul sessions for Leo. But, and it's kind of like having this charge of like, yeah, I got this, stuff is going to work out. Like I got a plan, whatever the case. And it's like this particular thing occurring and pulling the rug from under you. And so, okay, my guides just said you're being tested. Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, Leo. So here's the thing. So you're being set up for the okie doke. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the whole thing is, it's an is not is paradigm. Those of you who are not familiar with my is not is paradigm, it is my manifesto for how you make all of the crazy stuff that happens in this thing called life make sense, right? Like the is not always has to manifest before the is. So anything in life, it's a manifestation. When you make a decision to be different or to make more money or whatever the case, you set off a chain reaction of the is not is paradigm. So the polar opposite of what it is that you're calling in has to come in first to create a void, because the universe likes to fill voids. You know what I'm saying? That's your is not. And with that vacancy that's created by that is not, the polar opposite of what it is you're asking for, it creates like a vortex for what it is that you want to come in to, have a space to fill, in so many words, right? But a lot of times in our manifesting, because everything you do is a manifestation. But a lot of times in our manifestation process, we totally forget what it is that we called in the first place. For example, I freaking hate this job. I want to work somewhere else. I really hate this job. And then all of a sudden you get fired, and then you panic and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my bills? And you totally forget that you really didn't want to be there anyway. So you kind of get off track and you miss like the whole thing that you were calling in. So the thing that's happening, I say all of that to say, Leo, what's happening with you guys in the first week of March, and this is something that you need to be conscious of, whatever this disappointment is with this Ace of Cups that happened coming into March, it's like that was just an is not. That's manifesting before your is. So you have to be careful with this Hermit in the reverse energy, because you could very easily fall back into bad patterns. You feel what I'm saying? Not really understanding what it is that's happening here. So I hope and pray that that makes sense. Exactly. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse coming out next. So that's like feelings of feeling like a failure. I thought this was going to work out. I had made all of these plans. Like I saw this so clearly. I thought it was finally going to happen. Right. So it's those kind of vibes. But once again, like I was saying, you have to really be mind over matter in the first week of March. I would literally tell you, because, your first week is always the announcement of what it is you're going to be dealing with throughout the course of the month. But I feel for the first week of March, you really need to be mind over matter, right? And you need to be able to take a step back out of the situation and see the bigger picture, like whatever this is that transpired. I'm sure you could feel that it's unfair, or, it could be a shock to you, a myriad of different things. But the whole key is to not lose sight of where your headspace was prior to all of this, because this could very easily end up becoming a dark distraction. And like I'm saying, this is literally an is not. So the polar opposite of what you want is always going to manifest first. Like stuff always, gets worse before it gets better, if you will. So the whole key is to know that this energy that you guys are in is temporary, right? And not to lose sight of that. Now, going into the week of the 15th, which is the second week of February, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse. We have the Knight of Coins in the reverse, and my guides just said delayed, not denied. And then we have the Eight of Swords. So I'm literally going to reinforce everything I just said to you yet again, my amazing Leos. So literally the first half of, why do I feel like I'm like crooked? I feel like I was like this, but literally the first half of March, Leo, are you guys, I think y'all are one of the signs. Oh my gosh, it is, you guys. So I'll tell you this, Leo. So oh God, that would make so much sense. Okay, even better. Okay, so Leo, there's this article that I ended up coming across online. I was looking, I don't even know what it is that I was looking for. I'd be lying to you because I'm literally trying to scan my brain. I don't know what it is that that I was looking for. I don't remember, but I came across this article and it was talking about Saturn going into Pisces on the 7th of March, right? And it was saying that there were 4 zodiac signs that were going to be impacted by this greater than a lot of the other signs. And I know specifically the first sign they said was Leo, then it was Virgo, then it was Taurus, and the 4th was Capricorn, right? So what they were pretty much saying for you guys was something very similar to this, right? About like keeping your eye on the prize, because a lot of the cycle that all of us have kind of been in, and with them saying those 4 specific signs, it totally makes sense to me, because I think about all the people I know, myself included, because I'm a Taurus, all the people I know of those signs, it's like literally the last 2 years for all of us has been a literal like shit show. Like, no kidding. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you take 1 step forward and it's like 2 steps back kind of deal. So I feel for you guys, literally seeing and going into the second week, the fact that you guys have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Coins, and the Eight of Swords, I feel like I strongly need to warn you, because I always do this. I look at the card of the 1st and the 15th. So you're coming in disappointed, possibly depressed, whatever the case. But then at the midpoint of the month, it's like you're stuck in your head and you can't move forward. But the reason for you guys being stuck in your head and not being able to move forward is because of this Hermit in the reverse, which is the repeating of the past mistakes. So it's like you becoming the situation. It's like it's not seeing this disappointment as temporary and as a transit, which says to me that whatever this is that you guys put, like whatever it is that disappointed you guys or didn't work out the way that you hoped, you put a lot of emphasis into it, almost to the point of it, like it being like your savior or something, like it being the end all be all. And because this particular, thing didn't work out, or pathway didn't work out, or this person disappointed you, or, whatever the case, it's like going inside of yourself and now thinking super negative, like about yourself, your life, your experience, or what have you. And that's just simply not the case, because I feel for this, if I can find that article, I'll literally, post it for y'all, because they had some really good stuff in there. I can't remember specifics at the moment. I know mine was like, so like, I was like, really? I was like, oh, that's a great change. But with you guys, it was like, money leveling up and leadership and all kinds of stuff like that. I know Capricorns was really good too. But I feel this is like a final test, because what I can see that's a synchronicity between what I'm seeing here and what it is that I saw in a lot of you guys' soul sessions since literally last year is it is a repeating of past mistakes. Specifically, it was with finances, but it was not with you guys kind of building out into like the bigger picture of things, if you will. So it's like, because I think the example I used was like you working overtime at a job, right? And not really like, I need to make more money. So you start working overtime, but you never really had a plan for the money. So you just started spending a lot of money that you were making more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you weren't sitting it to the side. It's like your cost of living just became more because you were making more money because you never really had a plan. And I feel with this, what this would look like to me, and we're not going to know until, the 15th when I do the other half of this on the membership platforms. But what it's looking like to me is the path that you guys are on for the first 15 days. It's like this disappointment becomes the trigger that completely stops your forward momentum, and you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? And then I also feel the need to say too, with this Knight of Coins, and I feel like I have to say it like this for you guys to kind of get it, because it's getting a little long, child. But I don't want to say that anyone's gonna lose their job, but I feel that this is like a forewarning about potentially losing your job. But this is the way that the situation would pan out for how I'm seeing this playing out with this Page of Wands and this Knight of Coins and going into this Eight of Swords. In the second week is, say if, I don't know, you were in a relationship and the person broke up with you, right? And that was completely unexpected. And you're going through like a little minor sadness, depression, you're feeling like a failure, marriage didn't work out, relationship didn't work out, whatever. And at work, you're just kind of like dropping the ball and, just kind of letting things slip through the cracks, if you will. Like you're not being attentive. You're just not paying attention whatsoever. Then there could be the risk of something like that happening. But that's the only way that I'm really seeing it. So I'm not saying that every single Leo, across the universe is gonna like lose their job in the second week of March. But I'm saying if whatever this is that happened, even if it's something that happened at work, if you applied for a promotion and you didn't get it, and that starts to affect your performance because you're so in your head, that could potentially put your job at risk moving forward. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel that's where you're kind of manifesting now from the is not, because you're not seeing the is not as the transit into your is. I hope and pray that that's making sense. Oh, good Lord, goodness. At the bottom of you guys' deck, we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So the whole thing is, dude, this is like a whole reading of triggers, if I could say it that way. I don't even think, I'm like, usually when stuff like this happens, I'm like, I'm going to name the reading like trigger warning. Maybe I should name it trigger warning. That does sound kind of pizzazzy. But anyway, this entire reading for me is speaking to a trigger and trying to get you to pull yourself above the fray. And like my guys were saying, you are being tested, right? So what this is saying to me, big picture, for all my Leos that are consistent watchers, this says to me, in the last month, you guys have made a decision to make a pivotal change in your life. Like, you're just like, you know what? The way I've been doing stuff, things need to be different. So you made a plan, you decided to go in the direction of new stuff, or you just made the decision to do so. You feel what I'm saying? Your frequency changed. It ignited this transit, right? But the main reason why this reading is coming out this way is to let you know, yes, you are being triggered because something did not pan out the way that you hoped. However, you're being tested. With this thing not working out, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to handle it the way that you always have in similar situations in the past? Or are you going to call it what it is not his paradigm, get in your director's chair of life, take a step back and watch the whole thing play out, knowing that it's going to work out in your favor? You feel what I'm saying? That's literally how it is that you guys get out of the 8 of Swords. The whole reason why this can potentially go into this is, like I said, with the job thing, if something else were to happen the second week, because you got the thing that happens the first week, then you have something that's a hiccup, and like they were saying, delayed, not denied. So even if it's that, it's not like, you know, effing off at work and losing your job. It's just literally, if you're waiting for something to come in, if you're waiting for your tax returns, child, I don't know, right? It's delayed, it's not denied. It's not saying that it's not coming. It's just that it's not coming right now. But I feel that could be yet another trigger that would cause you guys to go even more in your head, where it seems like a series of unfortunate events. You feel what I'm saying? And with this 9 of Wands in the reverse, it's like literally going into like, I'm never going to get out of this. Things in my life don't change. Things like this always happen to me, right? So all of this is legit a forewarning telling you guys to pull yourself out of the fray. So mind over matter is the key for the first 15 days, my beautiful Leo. So anywho, that has been your soul session. It's a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but stuff needed to be said. But anyway, that's been your soul session. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you guys want to see part 2 of this, it's going to be available on all my membership platforms on the 15th of this month. And that's, you know, Patreon, YouTube members. I really don't post on Vimeo anymore. I probably should do that. Anyway, but YouTube members, Patreon, and our Sanctuary, my network. But anywho, I love your freaking face, Leo, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.